Welcome, and thank you for tuning in to William Shakespeare's As You Like It, a radio play, presented by members of the Pace Performing Arts BFA Acting Class of 2021. The cast is as follows: Emily Conlon, reading for Charles, Jaques, and Phoebe; Lily Cralius, reading for Duke Frederick, Duke Sr., Corin, and Hyman; Hollis Dorr, reading for Rosalind; Aidan Everly, reading for Orlando; Amasia Gordon, reading for Adam and Celia; Marquise McLam, reading for Oliver and Touchstone; Austin Yoder, reading for LeBeau, Amiens, and Silvius. Special thanks to the BFA acting faculty. Enjoy the show.
The aggressive determination of hippies to start a new society has made its mark upon San Francisco's Haight-Ashbury. Part of the neighborhood is occupied by ordinary people, bewildered by what's going on. Part of it is occupied by a growing population of hippies.
What we're thinking about is a peaceful planet. We're not thinking about anything else. We're not thinking about any kind of power. We're not thinking about any of those kind of struggles. We're not thinking about revolution or war or any of that.
Most of these people are young. Most of them come from middle-class homes. On the average, they are well-educated, or could be if they wanted to.
The Haight-Ashbury district of San Francisco. This is the new avant-garde left bank area of San Francisco, which has evolved and developed over the past number of years. In fact, I would say that the last 18 months has seen a tremendous increase of the so-called hippies who have invaded and lived.
The movement appears to be growing. Use of drugs appears to be spreading. There is the real danger that more and more young people may follow the call to turn on, tune in, drop out.
As I remember, Adam, it was upon this fashion bequeathed me by will, and as thou sayest, charged my brother on his blessing to breed me well. And there begins my sadness. He keeps me here at home unkept, for call you that keeping for a gentleman of my birth? His horses are bred better, but I, his brother, gain nothing under him but growth. He lets me feed with his hinds, bars me the place of a brother, and the spirit of my father, which I think is within me, begins to mutiny against this servitude. I will no longer endure it.
Now, sir, what make you here?
Nothing. I am not taught to make anything.
What mar you then, sir?
Marry, sir, I am helping you to mar that which God made, a poor, unworthy brother of yours, with idleness.
Marry, sir, be better employed and be not a while.
Shall I keep your hogs and eat husks with them? What prodigal portion have I spent that I should come to such penury?
Know you where you are, sir?
Oh, sir, very well, here in your orchard.
Know you before whom, sir?
Aye, better than him I am before knows me. I know you are my eldest brother, and in the gentle condition of blood you should so know me. The courtesy of nations allows you my better in that you are the firstborn, but the same tradition takes not away my blood were there 20 brothers betwixt us. I have as much of my father in me as you.
Wilt thou lay hands on me, villain?
I am no villain. I am the youngest son of Sir Roland de Boys. Wert thou not my brother, I would not take this hand from thy throat till this other had pulled out thy tongue for saying so. Thou hast railed on thyself.
Sweet masters, be patient. For your father's remembrance, be at accord.
Let me go, I say.
I will not till I please. My father charged you in his will to give me good education. You have trained me like a peasant, and I will no longer endure it. Give me the poor allottery my father left me by testament. With that I will go buy my fortunes.
And what wilt thou do? Beg when that is spent? Well, sir, get you in. I will not long be troubled with you. You shall have some part of your will. I pray you leave me. Get you with him, you old dog.
Is old dog my reward? Most true, I have lost my teeth in your service. God be with my old master. He would not have spoke such a word.
Is it even so? Begin you to grow upon me? Good Monsieur Charles, What's the new news at the new court?
There's no news at the court, sir, but the old news. That is, the old duke is banished by his younger brother, the new duke, and 3 or 4 loving lords have put themselves into voluntary exile with him. They say he is already in the forest of Arden.
Can you tell if Rosalind, the duke's daughter, be banished with her father?
Oh, no. For the duke's daughter, her cousin, so loves her that she would have followed her exile. She is at the court, and never 2 ladies loved as they do.
What, you wrestle tomorrow before the new duke?
Marry, do I, sir? I am given, sir, secretly to understand that your younger brother, Orlando, hath a disposition to come in disguised against me to try a fall. Therefore, out of my love to you, I came hither to acquaint you with all.
Charles, I thank thee for thy love to me. I tell thee, Charles, it is the stubbornest young fellow of France, full of ambition, a secret and villainous contriver against me, his natural brother. Therefore use thy discretion. I had as lief that thou didst break his neck as his finger. And thou were best look too, for he will practice against thee by poison, entrap thee by some treacherous device, and never leave thee till he has taken thy life by some indirect means or other. For I assure thee, and almost with tears I speak it, there is not one so young and so villainous this day living.
If he come tomorrow, I'll give him his payment. And so God keep your worship.
Farewell, good Charles. I hope I shall see an end of Orlando. For my soul, yet I know not why, hates nothing more than he. Yet he's gentle, full of noble device, of all sorts enchantingly beloved, and especially of my own people, that I am altogether misprized. But it shall not be long. This wrestler shall clear all.
I pray thee, Rosalind, sweet my coz, be merry.
Dear Celia, unless you could teach me to forget a banished father, you must not learn me how to remember any extraordinary pleasure.
Herein I see thou lovest me not with the full weight that I love thee. If my uncle, thy banished father, had banished thy uncle, the duke my father, so thou hadst been still with me. I could have taught my love to take thy father for mine.
Well, I will forget the condition of my estate to rejoice in yours.
You know my father hath no child but I, nor none is like to have. And truly, when he dies, thou shalt be his heir. For what he hath taken away from thy father perforce, I will render thee again in affection. By mine honor I will. And when I break that oath, let me turn monster. Therefore, my sweet Rose, my dear Rose, be merry.
From henceforth I will, coz, and devise sports. Let me see. What think you of falling in love?
Marry, I prithee do, to make sport withal, but love no man in good earnest.
What shall be our sport, then?
Let us sit and mock the good housewife Fortune from her wheel, that her gifts may henceforth be bestowed equally.
I would we could do so, for her benefits are mightily misplaced, and the bountiful blind woman doth most mistake in her gifts to women.
'Tis true, for those that she makes fair she scarce makes honest, and those that she makes honest she makes very ill-favoredly. How now, wit? Whither wander you?
Mistress, you must come away to your father.
Were you made the messenger?
No, by mine honor. But I was bid to come for you.
Where learned you that oath, fool?
Of a certain knight that swore by his honor they were good pancakes, and swore by his honor the mustard was not. Now I'll stand to it. The pancakes were not, and the mustard was good, and yet was not the knight forsworn. Stand you both forth now, stroke your chins, and swear by your beards that I am a knave.
By our beards, if we had them, thou art.
By my knavery, if I had it, then I were. But if you swear by that is not, you are not forsworn, nor more was this knight swearing by his honor, for he never had any.
Prithee, who was that thou mean'st?
One that old Frederick, your father, loves.
My father's love is enough to honor him. Enough! Speak no more of him. You'll be whipped for taxation one of these days.
The more pity, that fools may not speak wisely what wise men do foolishly.
By my troth, thou sayest true, for since the little wit that fools have was silenced, the little foolery that wise men have makes a great show.
Fair princess. Oh, excuse me. Oh,
Here comes Monsieur Lebeau.
With his mouth full of news.
sorry. Excuse me. Pardon me. Fair princess, you have lost much good sport.
Sport? Of what color?
Oh, what color, madam? You amaze me, ladies. I would have told you of good wrestling, which you have lost the sight of.
Yet tell us the manner of the wrestling.
There comes an old man and his 3 sons. The eldest of the 3 wrestled with Charles, the Duke's wrestler, which Charles in a moment threw him and broke 3 of his ribs, but there was little hope of life in him.
It is the first time that ever I heard breaking of ribs was sport for ladies.
Or I promise thee.
Shall we see this wrestling, cousin?
You must, if you stay here, for here is the place appointed for the wrestling, and they are ready to perform it.
How now, daughter and cousin? Are you crept hither to see the wrestling?
Aye, my liege. So please you give us leave.
You will take little delight in it, I can tell you. There is such odds in the man. In pity of the challenger's youth, I would fain dissuade him, but he will not be entreated. Speak to him, ladies. See if you can move him.
Young man, have you challenged Charles, the wrestler?
No, fair princess. He is the general challenger. I come but in, as others do, to try with him the strength of my youth.
Young gentleman, your spirits are too bold for your years. You have seen cruel proof of this man's strength. We pray you, for your own sake, to embrace your own safety and give over this attempt.
Do, young sir. We will make it our suit to the Duke that the wrestling might not go forward.
I beseech you, punish me not with your hard thoughts, wherein I confess me much guilty to deny so fair and excellent ladies anything. But let your fair eyes and gentle wishes go with me to my trial, wherein if I be foiled, I shall do my friends no wrong, for I have none to lament me. The world no injury, for in it I have nothing. Only in the world I fill up a place which may be better supplied when I have made it empty.
The little strength I have, I would it were with you.
And mine, to eke out hers.
Come, where is this young gallant that is so desirous to lie with his mother earth?
Ready, sir.
You shall try but one fall.
No, I warrant your grace, you shall not entreat him to a second that have so mightily persuaded him from a first.
You mean to mock me after? You should not have mocked me before. But come your ways.
Now Hercules be thy speed, young man.
No more, no more. How dost thou, Charles?
He cannot speak, my lord.
Bear him away. What is thy name, young man?
Orlando, my liege, the youngest son of Sir Roland de Boys.
I would thou hadst been son to some man else. The world esteemed thy father honorable, but I did find him still mine enemy. Thou shouldst have better pleased me with this deed, hadst thou descended from another house.
I am more proud to be Sir Roland's son, his youngest son, and would not change that calling to be adopted heir to Frederick.
Gentle cousin, let us go thank him and encourage him. My father's rough and envious disposition sticks me at heart. Sir, you have well deserved. If you do keep your promises and love but justly, as you have exceeded all promise, your mistress shall be happy.
Gentlemen, wear this for me. One out of suits with fortune that could give more, but that her hand lacks means. Shall we go, coz?
Aye. Fare you well, fair gentlemen.
Can I not say I thank you? My better parts are all thrown down, and that which here stands up is but a quintain, a mere lifeless block.
He calls us back. Oh, my pride fell with my fortunes. I'll ask him what he would. Did you call, sir? Sir, you have wrestled well, and overthrown more than your enemies.
Will you go, cuz?
Have with you. Fare you well.
What passion hangs these weights upon my tongue? I cannot speak to her, yet she urged conference. Oh, poor Orlando, thou art overthrown.
Good sir, I do in friendship counsel you to leave this place, albeit you have deserved high commendation, true applause, and love. Yet such is now the Duke's condition that he misconstrues all that you have done.
I thank you, sir, and pray you, tell me this. Which of the two was daughter of the Duke that here was at the wrestling?
Neither his daughter, if we judge by manners, but yet indeed the lesser is his daughter, the other is daughter to the banished Duke.
I rest much bounden to you. Fare you well. Thus must I from smoke into the smother, from tyrant Duke unto a tyrant brother, but heavenly Rosalind!
My cousin? Why, Rosalind, Cupid, have mercy! Not a word?
Not one to throw at a dog.
But is all this for your father?
No, some of it is for my child's father. Oh, how full of briars is this working day world.
They are but burrs, cousin, thrown upon thee in holiday foolery.
I could shake them off my coat. These burrs are in my heart.
Come, come, wrestle with thy affections.
Oh, they take the part of a better wrestler than myself.
Oh, is it possible? On such a sudden you should fall into so strong a liking with old Sir Roland's youngest son?
The Duke, my father, loved his father dearly.
Doth it therefore ensue that you should love his son dearly? By this kind of chase I should hate him, for my father hated his father dearly. Yet I hate not Orlando.
No, faith, hate him not for my sake.
Mistress, dispatch you with your safest haste and get you from our court.
Me, uncle?
You, cousin. Within these 10 days, if that thou beest found so near our public court as 20 miles, thou diest for it.
I do beseech your grace. Let me the knowledge of my fault bear with me. Never so much as in a thought unborn did I offend your highness.
Let it suffice thee that I trust thee not.
Yet your mistrust cannot make me a traitor. Tell me whereon the likelihood depends.
Thou art thy father's daughter. There's enough.
So was I when your highness took his dukedom. So was I when your highness banished him. Treason is not inherited, my lord.
Dear sovereign, hear me speak.
Aye, Celia, we stayed her for your sake, else had she with her father ranged along.
I did not then entreat to have her stay. It was your pleasure and your own remorse. I was too young that time to value her. But now I know her. If she be a traitor, why, so am I. We still have slept together, rose in an instant, learned, played, ate together, and wheresoe'er we went, like Juno's swans, still we went coupled and inseparable.
She is too subtle for thee, and her smoothness, her very silence, and her patience speak to the people, and they pity her. Then open not thy lips, firm and irrevocable is my doom which I have passed upon her. She is banished.
Pronounce that sentence then on me, my liege. I cannot live out of her company.
You are a fool. You, niece, provide yourself. If you outstay the time, upon mine honor and in the greatness of my word, you die.
Oh, my poor Rosalind, whither wilt thou go? Wilt thou change fathers? I will give thee mine. I charge thee, be not more grieved than I am.
I have more cause.
Thou hast not, cousin. Prithee, be cheerful. Knowest thou not the Duke hath banished me, his daughter?
That he hath not.
No, hath not? Rosalind lacks then the love which teacheth thee that thou and I am one. Shall we be sundered? Shall we part, sweet girl? No. Let my father seek another heir. Therefore devise with me how we may fly. Say what thou canst, I'll go along with thee.
Why, whither shall we go?
To seek my uncle in the forest of Arden.
Alas, what danger will it be to us, maids as we are, to travel forth so far? beauty provoketh thieves sooner than gold.
I'll put myself in poor and mean attire, and with the kind of umber smirch my face, the like do you. So shall we pass along, and never stir assailants.
Were it not better that I did suit me all points like a man?
What shall I call thee when thou art a man?
I'll have no worse a name than Jove's own page, and therefore look you call me Ganymede. But what will you be called?
Something that hath a reference to my state. No longer Celia, but Aliena. Let's away. Devise the fittest time and safest way to hide us from pursuit that will be made after my flight. Now go, we in content to liberty and not to banishment.
Oh, wait. There we go. Yeah. Oh, crap.
Now, my co-mates and brothers in exile, hath not old custom made this life more sweet than that of painted pomp? Are not these woods more free from peril than the envious court? Sweet are the uses of adversity, which, like the toad, ugly and venomous, wears yet a precious jewel in his head. And this our life exempt from public haunt finds tongues in trees, books in the running brooks, sermons in stones, and good in everything. I would not change it.
Happy is your grace that can translate the stubbornness of fortune into so quiet and so sweet a style.
Come, shall we go and kill this venison? And yet it irks me, the poor dappled fools, being native burghers of this desert city, should in their own confines with forked heads have their round haunches gored.
Indeed, my lord, the melancholy Jaques agrees at that, and in that kind swears you do more usurp than doth your brother that hath banished you. Today myself did steal behind him as he lay under an oak, to the which place a poor sequestered stag, that from the hunter's aim had ta'en a hurt, stood on the extremest verge of the swift brook, augmenting it with tears.
But what said Jaques? Did he not moralize this spectacle?
Oh yes, into 1,000 similes.
And did you leave him in this contemplation?
I did, my lord, weeping and commenting upon the sobbing deer.
Show me the place. I love to cope him in these sullen fits, for then he's full of matter.
I'll bring you to him straight.
Can it be possible that no man saw them?
I cannot hear of any that did see her. Hesperia, the princess's gentlewoman, confesses that she secretly o'erheard your daughter and her cousin much commend the parts and graces of the wrestler that did but lately foil the sinewy Charles, and she believes, wherever they are gone, Orlando is surely in their company.
Send to his brother. Fetch that gallant hither. I'll make him find him. Do this suddenly, and let not search and inquisition quail to bring again these foolish runaways.
Who's there?
Oh, my sweet master. Oh, you memory of old Sir Roland, why, what make you here?
Why, what's the matter?
Oh, unhappy youth, come not within these doors. Within this roof, the enemy of all your graces lives. Your brother, no brother, yet this son hath heard your praises, and this night he means to burn the lodging where you used to lie, and you within it. This house is but a butchery. Do not enter it.
What? Wouldst thou have me go and beg my food?
But do not so. I have 500 crowns. The thrifty hire I saved under your father, and all this I give you. Let me be your servant. Though I look old, yet I am strong and lusty. I'll do the service of a younger man.
Oh, good old man. How well in thee appears the constant service of the antique world, where servants sweat for duty, not for meed. So come thy ways, we'll go along together.
Master, go on, and I will follow thee.
Oh, Jupiter, how weary are my spirits.
I care not for my spirits if my legs are not weary.
I pray you, bear with me. I cannot go no further.
For my part, I had rather bear with you than bear you.
Well, this is the forest of Arden.
Now am I in Arden. The more fool I. When I was at home, I was in a better place. But travelers must be content.
Aye, be so, good Touchstone. Look you, who comes here?
That is the way to make her scorn you still.
Oh, Corin, that thou knewest how I do love her.
I partly guess, for I have loved ere now.
No, Corin, being old, thou canst not guess. But if thy love were ever like to mine, how many actions most ridiculous hast thou been drawn to by thy fantasy?
Into 1,000 that I have forgotten.
Oh, thou didst then ne'er love so heartily. If thou rememberst not the slightest folly that ever love did make thee run into, thou hast not loved. Or if thou hast not sat, as I do now, wearing thy hearer in thy mistress's praise, thou hast not loved. Or if thou hast not broke from company abruptly, as my passion now makes me, thou hast not loved. Oh, Phoebe, Phoebe, Phoebe!
Alas, poor shepherd! Searching of thy wound, I have by hard adventure found mine own.
And I mine. I remember when I was in love, I broke my sword upon a stone and bid him take that for coming a night to Jane's smile. We that are true lovers run into strange capers. But as all is mortal in nature, so is all nature in love mortal in folly.
Thou speakest wiser than thou art ware of. Jove, Jove, this shepherd's passion is much upon my fashion.
And mine. But it grows something still with me.
I pray you. One of you question yon man if he for gold will give us any food. I faint almost to death.
Hollow, you clown!
Peace, fool! He's not thy kinsman. Good even to you, friend.
And to you, gentle sir, and to you all.
I prithee, shepherd, if that love or gold can in this desert place buy entertainment, bring us where we may rest ourselves and feed. Here's a young maid with travel much oppressed and faints for succor.
Fair sir, I pity her. My master is of churlish disposition. Besides, his coat, his flocks, and bounds of feed are now on sale, and at our sheepcote now, by reason of his absence, there is nothing that you will feed on. But what is, come see.
Buy thou the cottage, pasture, and the flock, and thou shalt have to pay for it of us.
And we will mend thy wages. I like this place, and willingly could waste my time in it.
I will your very faithful feeder be, and buy it with your gold right suddenly.
Under the greenwood tree, who loves to lie with me and turn his merry note unto the sweet bird's throat. Come hither, come hither, come hither, here shall he see no enemy, but winter and rough weather.
More, I prithee, more.
It will make you melancholy, Monsieur Jaques.
I thank it. More, I prithee, more. I can suck melancholy out of a song as a weasel sucks eggs. More, I prithee, more.
My voice is ragged. I know I cannot please you.
I do not desire you to please me. I do desire you to sing. Come, more. Another stanza. Will you sing?
More at your request than to please myself.
Well then, if ever I thank any man, I'll thank you. Come, sing.
Well, I'll end the song. The Duke will drink under this tree. He hath been all this day to look you.
And I have been all this day to avoid him. He is too disputable for my company. Come, warble, come. I'll give you a verse to this note that I made yesterday, in despite of my invention.
And I'll sing it. If it do come to pass that any man turn ass, leaving his wealth and ease, a stubborn will to please, Duke Dame, Duke Dame, Duke Dame. Here shall he see gross fools as he, and if he will come to me. What's that Duke Dame?
'Tis a Greek invocation to call fools into a circle.
Oh, hey.
I'll go sleep, if I can.
If I cannot, I'll rail against all the firstborn of Egypt.
And I'll go seek the Duke. His banquet is prepared.
I think he be transformed into a beast, for I can nowhere find him like a man. Go, seek him. Tell him I would speak with him.
Oh, he saves my labor by his own approach.
Why, how now, monsieur? You look merrily.
A fool! A fool! I met a fool in the forest, who railed on Lady Fortune in good set terms, and yet a motley fool. Good morrow, fool, quoth I. No, sir, quoth he, call me not fool till heaven hath sent me fortune. And then he drew a dial from his poke, and looking on it with lackluster eye, says very wisely, It is 10 o'clock, thus we may see, quoth he, how the world wags. 'Tis but an hour ago since it was 9, and after 1 hour more 'twill be 11. And so, from our whore to our whore, we ripe, and then from our whore to our whore, we rot, and thereby hangs a tale. Oh, noble fool!
What fool is this?
Oh, worthy fool! One that had been a courtier. Oh, that I were a fool! Give me leave to speak my mind, and I will through and through cleanse the foul body of the infected world, if they will patiently receive my medicine.
Fie on thee, I can tell what thou wouldst do.
What, for a counter, would I do but good?
Most mischievous foul sin, in chiding sin, for thou thyself hast been a libertine, as sensual as the brutish sting itself, and all the embossed sores and headed evils that thou with license of free foot hast cost, wouldst thou disgorge into the general world.
Forbear and eat no more!
Why, I have ate none yet.
Nor shalt not till necessity be served.
Of what kind should this cock come of?
He dies that touches any of this fruit, till I and my affairs are answered.
And you will not be answered with reason. I must die.
What would you have? Your gentleness shall force more than your force moves us to gentleness.
I almost die for food, and let me have it.
Sit down and feed, and welcome to our table.
Speak you so gently? Pardon me, I pray you. I thought that all things had been savage here, and therefore put I on the countenance of stern commandment. But whate'er you are, if ever you have looked on better days, let gentleness my strong enforcement be, in the which hope I blush and hide my sword.
True is it that we have seen better days, and sat at good men's feast and wiped our eyes, and therefore sit you down in gentleness, and take upon command what help we have that to your wanting may be ministered.
Then but forbear your food a little whiles like a doe I go to find my fawn and give it food. There is an old poor man who after me hath many a weary step limped in pure love. Till he be first sufficed I will not touch a bit.
Go find him out, and we will nothing waste till you return.
I thank ye, and be blessed for your good comfort.
Thou seest we are not all alone unhappy. This wide and universal theatre presents more woeful pageants than the scene wherein we play in.
All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being 7 ages. At first, the infant, mewling and puking in the nurse's arms, and then the whining schoolboy with his satchel and shining morning face, creeping like snail unwillingly to school. And then the lover, sighing like furnace, with a woeful ballad made to his mistress's eyebrows. Then a soldier, jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation e'en in the cannon's mouth. And then the justice, in fair round belly with good cape and lined, full of wise saws and modern instances. And so he plays his part. The 6th age shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon, with spectacles on nose and pouch on side, his youthful hose well saved, a world too wide for his shrunk shank, and his big manly voice turning again toward childish trouble, pipes and whistles in his sound. Last scene of all, that ends this strange, eventful history, is second childishness and mere oblivion. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything.
Welcome. Set down your venerable burthen and let him feed.
I thank you most for him.
So had you need. I scarce can speak to thank you for myself.
Welcome. Give us some music and good cousin, sing.
Love is but a song to sing. Fear's the way we die. You can make mountains ring, make the angels cry. Though the bird is on the wing, and you may not know why. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together and try to love one another right now.
If that you were the good Sir Roland's son, as you have whispered faithfully you were, be truly welcome hither. I am the Duke that loved your father. Give me your hand and let me all your fortunes understand.
Not see him since. Sir, that cannot be. Find out thy brother wheresoe'er he is.
Oh, that your highness knew my heart in this. I never loved my brother in my life.
Hang there, my verse, in witness of my love. Oh, Rosalind, these trees shall be my books, and in their barks my thoughts I'll character, that every eye which in this forest looks shall see thy virtue witnessed everywhere. Run, run, Orlando, carve on every tree the fair, the chaste, and unexpressive she.
From the east to western end, no jewel is like Rosalind. All the pictures fairest lined are but black to Rosalind. Let no fair be kept in mind, but the fair of Rosalind.
I'll rhyme you so 8 years together, dinners and suppers and sleeping hours except.
Out, fool!
For a taste, if a hart do like a hind, let him seek out Rosalind. Sweetest nut has sourest rind, such a nut is Rosalind. He that sweetest rose will find must find love's prick and Rosalind. This is the very false gallop of verses. Why do you infect yourself with them?
Peace, you dull fool! I found them on a tree.
Truly, the tree yields bad fruit.
Peace! Here comes my sister, reading. Stand aside.
Thus Rosalind of many parts by heavenly synod was devised, of many faces, eyes, and hearts, to have the touch's dearest prize. Heaven would that she these gifts should have, and I to live and die her slave. How now? Back, friends. Go off a little, Sirrah.
Come, let us make an honorable retreat.
Didst thou hear these verses?
Oh, yes. I heard them all. And more, too, for some of them had in them more feet than the verses would bear.
Trow you who hath done this?
Is it a man? I prithee, who?
Oh, Lord.
Nay, but who is it?
Is it possible?
Nay, I prithee, now with most petitionary vehemence, tell me who it is.
Oh, wonderful, and most wonderful.
Good my complexion! Dost thou think, though I am comparisoned like a man, I have a doublet and hose in my disposition? 1 inch of delay more is a South Sea of discovery. I prithee, tell me who is it, quickly, and speak apace. I prithee, take the cork out of thy mouth that I may drink thy tidings.
So you may put a man in your belly.
What manner of man?
It is young Orlando that tripped up the wrestler's heels and your heart both in an instant.
Nay, but the devil take mocking. Speak, sad brow, and true, maid.
In faith, 'cause 'tis he.
Orlando?
Orlando.
Alas, the day! What shall I do with my doublet and hose? What did he when thou saw'st him? What said he? How looked he? Wherein went he? Did he ask for me? Answer me in one word.
You must borrow me Gargantua's mouth first.
But doth he know that I am in this forest and in man's apparel? Looks he as freshly as he did the day he wrestled?
I found him under a tree, like a dropped acorn. There lay he, stretched along like a wounded knight. He was furnished like a hunter.
Oh, ominous. He comes to kill my heart.
I would sing my song without a burden that breathes me out of tune.
Do you not know I am a woman? When I think, I must speak.
Soft! Comes he not here?
I pray you, mar no more trees with writing love songs in their barks.
I pray you, mar no more of my verses with reading them ill-favoredly.
Rosalind is your love's name?
Yes, just.
I do not like her name.
There was no thought of pleasing you when she was christened.
What stature is she of?
Just as high as my heart.
You are full of pretty answers. The worst fault you have is to be in love.
'Tis a fault I will not change for your best virtue. I am weary of you.
By my troth, I was seeking for a fool when I found you.
He is drowned in the brook. Look but in, and you shall see him.
There I shall see mine own figure.
Which I take to be either a fool or a cipher.
I'll tarry no longer with you. Farewell, good Signor Love.
I am glad of your departure. Adieu, good Monsieur Melancholy.
I will speak to him like a saucy lackey, and under the habit play the knave with him. Do you hear, Forester?
Very well, what would you?
I pray you, what is't o'clock?
You should ask me what time of day. There's no clock in the forest.
Then there is no true lover in the forest. Time travels in diverse paces with diverse persons. I'll tell you who time ambles withal, who time trots withal, who time gallops withal, and who he stands still withal.
Where dwell you, pretty youth?
With this shepherdess, my sister, here in the skirts of the forest.
Your accent is something finer than you could purchase in so removed a dwelling.
I have been told so of many, but indeed an old religious uncle of mine taught me to speak, one that knew courtship too well, for there he fell in love. I have heard him read many lectures against it, and I thank God I am not a woman, to be touched with so many giddy offences as he hath generally taxed their whole sex withal.
I prithee, recount some of them.
No, I will not cast away my physic but on those that are sick. There is a man haunts the forest that abuses our young plants with carving Rosalind on their barks, deifying the name of Rosalind. If I could meet that fancy-monger, I would give him some good counsel.
I am he that is so love-shaked. I pray you, tell me your remedy.
There is none of my uncle's marks upon you.
What were his marks?
A lean cheek, which you have not. A blue eye and sunken, which you have not. A beard neglected, which you have not, but I pardon you for that. Then your sleeve unbuttoned, your shoe untied, and everything about you demonstrating a careless desolation. But you are no such man.
Fair youth, I would I could make thee believe I love.
Me believe it? You may as soon make her that you love believe it. But, in good sooth, are you he that hangs the verses on the trees wherein Rosalind is so admired?
I swear to thee, youth, by the white hand of Rosalind, I am he, that unfortunate he.
Love is merely a madness, and I tell you, deserves as well a dark house and a whip as madmen do. Yet I profess curing it by counsel.
Did you ever cure any so?
Yes, one, and in this manner. He was to imagine me his love, his mistress, and I set him every day to woo me, at which time would I be effeminate, changeable, inconstant, full of tears, full of smiles, would now like him, now loathe him, now weep for him, then spit at him, that I drave my suitor from his mad humor of love to a living humor of madness, and thus I cured him.
I would not be cured, youth.
I would cure you, if you would but call me Rosalind and come every day to my cote and woo me.
Now, by the faith of my love, I will. Tell me where it is.
Go with me to it, and I'll show it you.
With all my heart, good youth.
Nay, you must call me Rosalind. Come, sister, will you go? Never talk to me, I will weep.
Do, I prithee, yet have the grace to consider that tears do not become a man.
But why did he swear he would come this morning, and comes not?
Nay, certainly, there is no truth in him.
Do you think so?
Yes, I think he is not a pig purse nor a horse stealer, but for his verity and love, I do think him as concave as a covered goblet or a worm-eaten nut.
Not true in love?
Yes, when he is in, but I think he is not in.
You have heard him swear downright he was.
Was is not is. Oh, that's a brave man. He writes brave verses, speaks brave words, swears brave oaths, and breaks them bravely. Quite reverse athwart the heart of his lover. Who comes here?
Sweet Phoebe, do not scorn me. Do not, Phoebe. Say that you love me not, but say not so in bitterness. The common executioner, whose heart the accustomed sight of death makes hard, falls not the axe upon the humbled neck, but first begs pardon.
I would not be thy executioner. I fly thee, for I would not injure thee. Thou tell'st me there is murder in mine eye? 'Tis pretty, sure, and very probable that eyes, that are the frailest and softest things, should be called tyrants, butchers, murderers? And if mine eyes can wound, now let them kill thee. Now show the wound mine eye hath made in thee, for I am sure there is no force in eyes that can do hurt.
Oh, dear Phoebe, if ever, as that ever may be near, you meet in some fresh cheek the power of fancy, then shall you know the wounds invisible that love's keen arrows make.
But till that time, come not thou near me, and when that time comes, afflict me with thy mocks, pity me not, as till that time I shall not pity thee.
And why, I pray you? Who might be your mother that you insult, exalt, and all at once over the wretched? What though you have no beauty, as by my faith I see no more in you than without candle may go dark to bed? Must you be therefore proud and pitiless? Why, what means this? Why do you look on me? I think she means to tangle my eyes too. No, faith, proud mistress, hope not after it. 'Tis not your inky brows, your black silk hair that can entame my spirits to your worship. You foolish shepherd, wherefore do you follow her like foggy south puffing with wind and rain? You are 1,000 times a properer man than she a woman. 'Tis such fools as you that make the world full of ill-favored children. But, mistress, know yourself, down on your knees, and thank heaven fasting for a good man's love. For I must tell you, friendly in your ear, sell when you can. You are not for all markets. So, take her to thee, shepherd. Fare you well. Shepherdess, look on him better.
Sweet Phoebe.
Ha! What sayest thou, Silvius?
Sweet Phoebe, pity me.
Why, I am sorry for thee, gentle Silvius.
If you do sorrow at my grief and love by giving love, your sorrow and my grief were both extermined. I would have you.
Why, that were covetousness. But, since that thou canst talk of love so well, thy company, which erst was irksome to me, I will endure, and I'll employ thee too.
So holy and so perfect is my love, and I in such a poverty of grace, that I shall think it a most plenteous crop, a scattered smile, and that I'll live upon.
Know'st thou the youth that spoke to me erewhile?
Not very well, but I have met him oft.
Think not I love him, though I ask for him. 'Tis but a peevish boy. Yet he talks well. It is a pretty youth. Not very pretty. He is not very tall. Yet for his years he's tall. There is a pretty redness in his lip, a little riper and more lusty red than that mixed in his cheek. 'Twas just the difference between the constant red and mingled damask. There be some women, Sylvius, would have gone near to fall in love with him, but for my part, I love him not, nor hate him not. And yet, I have more cause to hate him than to love him. For what had he to do to chide at me? He said mine eyes were black and my hair black, and now I am remembered scorned at me. I'll write to him a very taunting letter, and thou shalt bear it, wilt thou, Sylvius?
Phoebe, with all my heart.
I will be bitter with him and passing short. Go with me, Sylvius. I prithee, pretty youth, let me be better acquainted with thee.
They say you are a melancholy fellow.
I am so. I do love it better than laughing. But it is a melancholy of mine own, compounded of many simples, extracted from many objects, and indeed the sundry contemplation of my travels, in which my often rumination wraps me in a most humorous sadness.
A traveler! By my faith, you have great reason to be sad.
Yes, I have gained my experience.
And your experience makes you sad. I had rather have a fool to make me merry than experience to make me sad.
Good day and happiness, dear Rosalind.
Nay, then, God be with you, and you talk in blank verse.
Farewell, Monsieur Traveler. Why, how now, Orlando? Where have you been all this while? You, a lover? And you serve me such another trick. Never come in my sight more.
My fair Rosalind, I come within an hour of my promise.
Break an hour's promise in love.
Pardon me, dear Rosalind.
Nay, and you be so tardy. Come no more in my sight. I had as lief be wooed of a snail.
Of a snail?
I of a snail. For though he comes slowly, he carries his house on his head. A better jointure, I think, than you make a woman. What would you say to me now, and I were your very, very Rosalind?
I would kiss before I spoke.
Nay, you were better speak first, and when you were gravelled for lack of matter, you might take occasion to kiss.
How, if the kiss be denied?
Then she puts you to entreaty, and there begins new matter.
Who could be out, being before his beloved mistress?
Marry, that should you if I were your mistress. Am I not your Rosalind?
I take some joy to say you are, because I would be talking of her.
Well, in her person, I say, I will not have you.
Then in mine own person, I die.
No, faith, die by attorney. The poor world is almost 6,000 years old, and in all this time there was not any man died in his own person, videlicet in a love cause. Men have died from time to time, and worms have eaten them, but not for love.
I would not have my right Rosalind of this mind, for, I protest, her frown might kill me.
By this hand, it will not kill a fly. But come, now I will be your Rosalind in a more coming-on disposition, and ask me what you will, I will grant it.
Then love me, Rosalind.
Yes, faith will I, Fridays and Saturdays and all.
And wilt thou have me?
Aye, and 20 such. Come, sister, you shall be the priest and marry us. Give me your hand, Orlando. What do you say, sister?
Pray thee, marry us.
I cannot say the words.
You must begin, will you, Orlando?
Go to. Will you, Orlando, have to wife this Rosalind?
I will.
Then you must say, I take thee, Rosalind, for wife.
I take thee, Rosalind, for wife.
And I do take thee, Orlando, for my husband. Now, tell me how long you would have her after you have possessed her.
Forever, and a day.
Say a day without the ever. No, Orlando. Maids are May when they are maids, but the sky changes when they are wives.
But will my Rosalind think so?
By my life, she will do as I do.
Oh, but she is wise.
Or else she could not have the wit to do this. The wiser, the waywarder.
For these 2 hours, Rosalind, I will leave thee.
Alas, dear love, I cannot lack thee 2 hours.
I must attend the Duke at dinner. By 2 o'clock I will be with thee again.
Aye, go your ways, go your ways. I knew what you would prove. That flattering tongue of yours won me, and so, come, death! 2 o'clock is your hour?
Aye, sweet Rosalind.
By my troth, and in good earnest, if you break 1 jot of your promise, or come 1 minute behind your hour, I will think you the most pathetical break promise, and the most hollow lover, and the most unworthy of her you call Rosalind. Therefore, beware my censure, and keep your promise.
With no less religion than if thou wert indeed my Rosalind. So, adieu.
Adieu.
You have simply misused our sex in your little love parade.
Oh, cuz, my pretty little cuz, that thou didst know how many fathom deep I am in love. I'll tell thee, Aliena, I cannot be out of the sight of Orlando. I'll go find a shadow and sigh till he come.
And I'll sleep.
My errand is to you, fair youth. My gentle Phoebe bid me give you this. I know not the contents, but as I guess it bears an angry tenor. Pardon me, I am but as a guiltless messenger.
Why writes she so to me? Well, shepherd, well, this is a letter of your own device.
No, I protest I know not the contents. Phoebe did write.
Why, 'tis a boisterous and a cruel style. Will you hear the letter?
So please you, for I never heard it yet. Yet heard too much of Phoebe's cruelty.
Oh, she Phoebes me. Mark how the tyrant writes. Why, thy godhead laid apart, warrest thou with a woman's heart? Oh, did you ever hear such railing? Whiles you chid me, I did love. How then might your prayers move? He that brings this love to thee little knows this love in me. Ooh.
Call you this railing?
Alas, poor shepherd.
Do you pity him? No, he deserves no pity. Wilt thou love such a woman? Well, go your way to her, for I see love hath made thee a tame snake, and say this to her, that if she love me, I charge her to love thee. If she will not, I will never have her unless thou entreat for her. If you be a true lover, hence, and not a word.
Good morrow, fair ones. Pray you if you know where in the purlieus of this forest stands a sheepcote fenced about with olive trees?
West of this place, down in the neighbor bottom. Ooh. But at this hour the house doth keep itself. There is none within.
If that an eye may profit by a tongue, then should I know you by description. The boy is fair, and he bestows himself like a ripe sister. Are not you the owner of the house I did inquire for?
It is no boast being asked to say we are.
Orlando doth commend him to you both, and to that youth he calls his Rosalind. He sends this bloody napkin. Are you he?
I am. What must we understand by this?
Suffer my shame if you will know of me, what man I am, and how, and why, and where this handkerchief was stained.
I pray you, tell it.
When last the young Orlando parted from you, he left a promise to return again within an hour. And pacing through the forest, mark what object did present itself. A wretched, ragged man o'ergrown with hair, and a lioness lay couching with cat-like watch when that the sleeping man should stir. This scene, Orlando did approach the man and found it was his brother, his elder brother.
Oh, I have heard him speak of that same brother, and he did render him the most unnatural that live amongst men.
And well he might so do, for well I know he was unnatural.
But to Orlando, did he leave him there?
Twice did he turn his back and purpose so, But kindness, nobler ever than revenge, made him give battle to the lioness, who quickly fell before him, in which, hurling from miserable slumber, I awaked.
Are you his brother?
Wast you he rescued?
Wast you that did so oft contrive to kill him?
'Twas I, but 'tis not I since my conversion.
But for the bloody napkin.
By and by, the lioness had torn some flesh away, in which all this while had bled, and now he fainted and cried in feigning upon Rosalind. He sent me hither, stranger as I am, to tell this story, that you might excuse his broken promise, and to give this napkin dyed in his blood unto the shepherd youth that he in sport doth call his Rosalind.
Why? How now, Ganymede, sweet Ganymede!
Many will swoon when they do look on blood.
There is more in it. Cousin Ganymede, I pray you, will you take him by the arm?
Be of good cheer, youth. You are man. You lack a man's heart.
I do so, I confess it. I pray you, tell your brother how well I counterfeited. Hey-ho!
This was not counterfeit. There was too great testimony in your complexion that it was a passion of earnest.
Counterfeit, I assure you.
Well then, take a good heart and counterfeit to be a man.
Come, you look paler and paler. Pray you, draw homewards. Good sir, go with us.
It's possible that on so little acquaintance you should like her, that but seeing you should love her, and loving woo, and wooing she should grant.
Neither call the giddiness of it in question, nor her sudden consenting. But say with me, I love Aliena. Say with her that she loves me. Consent with both, that we may enjoy each other.
You have my consent. Let your wedding be tomorrow. Go you and prepare Aliena, for look you, here comes my Rosalind.
God save you, brother.
And you, fair sister.
Did your brother tell you how I counterfeited to swoon when he showed me your handkerchief?
Aye, and greater wonders than that.
Oh, I know where you are. Nay, 'tis true. For your brother and my sister no sooner met but they looked, no sooner looked but they loved, no sooner loved but they sighed, and in these degrees have they made a pair of stairs to marriage.
But oh, how bitter a thing it is to look into happiness through another man's eyes. By so much the more shall I tomorrow be at the height of heart heaviness.
Why then tomorrow I cannot serve your turn for Rosalind.
I can live no longer by thinking.
Oh, I will weary you then no longer with idle talking. Believe then, if you please, that I can do strange things. If you do love Rosalind so near the heart as your gesture cries it out, when your brother marries Aliena, shall you marry her.
Speakest thou in sober meanings?
By my life, I do. Therefore, put you in your best array, bid your friends, for if you will be married tomorrow, you shall, and to Rosalind, if you will.
Youth, you have done me much ungentleness to show the letter that I writ to you. Good shepherd, tell this youth what 'tis to love.
It is to be all made of sighs and tears. And so am I for Phoebe.
And I for Ganymede.
And I for Rosalind.
And I for no woman.
It is to be all made of faith and service, and so am I for Phoebe.
And I for Ganymede.
And I for Rosalind.
And I for no woman.
It is to be all made of fantasy, all made of passion, and all made of wishes. All adoration, duty, observance, all humbleness, all patience and impatience, all purity, all trial, all observance. And so am I for Phoebe.
And so am I for Ganymede.
And so am I for Rosalind.
And so am I for no woman. Pray you, no more of this. 'Tis like the howling of Irish wolves against the moon. Tomorrow meet me all together. Phoebe, I will marry you, if ever I marry woman, and I'll be married tomorrow. Orlando, I will satisfy you.
If ever I satisfied man, and you shall be married tomorrow. Silvius, I will content you, if what pleases you contents you, and you shall be married tomorrow. So, fare you well. I have left you commands.
I'll not fail if I live.
Nor I.
Nor I.
Dost thou believe, Orlando, that the boy can do all this that he hath promised?
I sometimes do believe, and sometimes do not.
Patience once more, whiles our compact is urged. You say, if I bring in your Rosalind, you will bestow her on Orlando here?
That would I, had I kingdoms to give with her.
Keep your word, O Duke, to give your daughter. You yours, Orlando, to receive his daughter. Keep your word, Phoebe, that you'll marry me, or else refusing me to wed this shepherd. Keep your word, Silvius, that you'll marry her if she refuse me. And from hence I go, to make these doubts all even.
I do remember in this shepherd boy some lively touches of my daughter's favor.
My lord, the first time that I ever saw him, methought he was a brother to your daughter. But, my good lord, this boy is forest born.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Then is there mirth in heaven, when earthly things made even atone together. Good Duke, receive thy daughter. Hymen from heaven brought her, yea, brought her hither, that thou mightst join her hand with his, whose heart within his bosom is.
Father, to you I give myself, for I am yours. Orlando, to you I give myself, for I am yours.
If there be truth in sight, you are my daughter.
If there be truth in sight, you are my Rosalind.
If sight and shape be true, why then, my love, adieu.
I'll have no father if you be not he. I'll have no husband if you be not he, nor ne'er wed woman if you be not she.
Peace, ho! I bar confusion. 'Tis I must make conclusion of these most strange events. Here's 6 that must take hands to join in Hymen's bands. You and you no cross shall part. You and you are heart in heart. You to his love must accord, or have a woman to your lord. While's a wedlock hymn we sing, feed yourselves with questioning, that reason wonder may diminish how thus we met, and these things finish.
Oh, my dear niece, welcome thou art to me. Even daughter, welcome in no less degree. And every of this happy number that have endured shrewd days and nights with us shall share the good of our return fortune. Play music.
It is not the fashion to see the lady the epilogue, but it is no more the fashion to perform your junior year Shakespeare project as a radio play. If it be true that good wine needs no bush, 'tis true that a good actor needs no stage. Yet to good wine they do use good bushes, and good actors prove the better by the help of good stages. What a case am I in, then? I am not furnished like a beggar, therefore to beg will not become me. My way is to conjure you, and I'll begin with the listener. I charge you, O listener, for the love you bear to us, to like as much of this play as please you. And I charge you, O artists, for the love you bear to audiences, as I perceive by your simpering none of you hates them, that between you and the audience the play may please. If I were not in quarantine, I would kiss as many of you as had beards that pleased me, complexions that liked me, and breaths that I defied not. And, I am sure, all of you, for my kind offer, when I make curtsy, will bid me farewell.
When the truth is found to be lies, and all of the joy within you dies. Don't you want somebody to love? Don't you need somebody to love? Wouldn't you love somebody to love? You better find somebody to love. flowers, they are dead yet.